Shilo Sanders, he admits that he is obviously in the transfer portal, but also that he will graduate from Jackson State University this spring, not December, but in the spring. And he had some really nice words to say about Jackson. Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe in the notification bell because we upload just about every single day. Now, Shilo Sanders has been one of the big talking points for the Jackson State football team since it was announced that his father, head coach, Coach Prime, has moved on to Colorado. Now, Shilo has been in the transfer portal. Obviously, everybody assumed that he was just going to make that hiatus to Colorado, but we knew it came with some baggage. I talked about it before the SWAC championship game that Shilo wasn't, from what I understood, from the intake that I had from being down there in Jackson, that he wasn't the most keen to this move to Colorado. He really was entrenched in the Jackson State culture. He really was feeling any and everything about the city of Jackson and Jackson State University. And he kind of pretty much confirmed that by saying he will be a graduate of Jackson State. He's not just going to move on. He may eventually move on, and he probably will, and chances are he probably will go to Colorado. But he said something that was important to him and something that also had to happen in order for him to transfer and be immediately eligible. But something that was important to him was that he graduated from Jackson State University, and pushing the HBCU brand forward is something that he will continue to do. We're going to look at an interview that Shilo did with Anthony Hamilton Jr., correspondent, reporter, social media guy over at Overtime Elite. He does a bunch of different stuff for Overtime Elite and different huge social media following and huge social media platform for Anthony Hamilton Jr. And we're going to take a look at his interview with Shilo, his exclusive interview with Shilo. I think he's the first and only to sit down with Shilo post the transfer portal, post Celebration Bowl, post Colorado, post all of that stuff. So let's take a look. We're going to jump right into it at the 55-second mark. Hold on. Let me go ahead and share my screen and make sure you guys let me know if you can hear. Please let me know if you can hear. I'm going to rewind it back just a tad bit. This is Shilo and Anthony talking about the love and support from Jackson State. Let's take a listen.
How are you feeling, bro? What's next? What you got going on? What's going through your mind, bro?
Well, basically, first of all, bro, I just want to express my love for Jackson, not only the city, but JSU. I just really appreciate how much love everyone has shown me since I've gotten there. Like, they just treat me like family, bro. Like, everywhere I go, everyone always looking out. And just for me and my family, we really appreciate that.
Now, that's something I can confirm because I've been to Jackson. And I ain't nowhere near the person that Shilo Sanders is or the Sanders name held at Jackson State University. And there's a whole lot of love in the city of Jackson. They show you a whole lot of love and support. If they rock with you, they rock all the way with you. So he is 100% on that. And I imagine it was double whatever he gets, a triple or 10 times the amount love and support that he got than I got. And I got a whole lot of love and support when I went. So that was awesome to hear. First statement that came out of his mouth was like, yo, I want to show love to the city of Jackson and Jackson State University. Let's keep listening.
And it's sad we couldn't win that last game. I definitely want to do it for the city, for the fans, for the students, man, just for the culture. Right. And just go out with a bang, really.
So what's going on? What's the conversations in the household right now? What are you working on?
This is key. Anthony asked him a good question. We're like, yo, what's happening? Like, what's the rundown? What's the 411? You going to Colorado? Or are you moving along? What's the word? You know what I'm saying? Let's take a listen.
Automatically assumes you're going to Colorado. And when we had a conversation, you're saying that you're trying to see your options. So I think this is a place for you to really express what a school would get or what's on the table if, you were looking at other schools.
So basically, I got 2 years left of eligibility.
Now, this is where he gets into the graduation stuff, and I think this is really cool.
I'm going to graduate actually from Jackson State, which is something I want to do in the spring. So I'm going to have all this time to get all my grades and get my degree from Jackson State. And during that time, I just want to find a good home, a good next home. I feel like playing in the SWAC, they just don't respect.
Now this is I'm gonna rewind this a little bit because this is where it gets interesting. I get what he's saying, but first, him graduating from Jackson State and him not graduating until the spring is interesting because it opens the door. At least when I initially heard this, like, yo, this opens the door for him to return to Jackson State and be a part of, playing for TC. D.I. Love, play for Coach TC. But then this next part kind of gets away from that mind line of thinking.
Good home, a good next home. I feel like playing in the SWAC, they just don't respect it. Like, we have great players, they just don't respect it. Like, you could just ball out, but still, you don't got competition. Right. And I played in the SEC. And probably the O linemen, D linemen are different. They're probably a little bigger, but other than that, the skill players is similar. The respect level not being there for SWAC players, it just makes it more difficult in that aspect. Just getting graded and evaluated by scouts and stuff. But if you could ball, they're gonna find you. But it's a little bit harder in the SWAC. You gotta do like double.
Right. You gotta do
like triple.
Yeah.
My dad going to Colorado.
So I mean, the thing was, he's not lying. But this is something that they knew going into Jackson. I guess they just got a harsh reality. Now, this is not me trying to take a shot at the kid, but Shilo, NFL, I don't know. NFL Shilo, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep listening.
Gives me like a great opportunity to continue playing on an even higher level, But at the same time, that might be the best place for him for right now. But I just want to make sure that's the best place for me rather than just rushing to it because it's my dad,
Right.
And I know he always gonna show love. I know.
So yeah, that is the big part. That was the heavy hitters from the interview. Saying that you have to do more for them SWAC. It's black college football. It's not just the SWAC, it's the MEAC as well. MEAC has ballers, but the ballers that come out of the MEAC, the ballers that come out of the SWAC, if you a real baller, you're going to get that shot. And when you get that shot, it's about making the most of the opportunity. Case in point is James Houston. James Houston was at Florida, rode the bench for 3-4 years. I mean, it just is what it is. He just didn't get the playing time. He's playing out of position. The reason why he rode the bench is because he's playing out of position. He gets to Jackson State trying to play middle linebacker. They have Keontae Hampton. They have Aubrey Miller. They're like, yo, man, but you're talented enough that we need to get you on the field. So they move him to outside linebacker, defensive end, and then he just goes, rips it up. Gets drafted. The Lions try to hold him back a little bit. Goes out there his first 4 games, he gets 5 sacks. 4 games, 5 sacks. Yeah, he's that dude. Because once he got that opportunity, he took advantage of that. Now here we're talking about Shilo Sanders. Well, Shilo, if we're just being honest, he's not James Houston. He's not an NFL prospect. I mean, if you thought he was, look at this. Go watch the Celebration Bowl again. I mean, there's guys in the SEC, the ACC, the Pac-12, and damn sure the NFL that are better than the guys at North Carolina Central. Now, some of those guys from North Carolina Central are going to play on Sundays, but not all of them. And Shilo wasn't the best in coverage. Shilo hits hard but doesn't wrap up. And so this is not me palling on Shilo. Hit that thumbs up button, by the way. But this is just me being honest. If I'm Shilo, his best bet to get any kind of professional football career is to not transfer for a 3rd time. We got to be honest with ourselves, guys. We have to be honest. The transfer portal is a gift and a curse. Players that have been to 3 and 4 schools, what is their success rate in the NFL? Taking out the JUCO. Now, I understand JUCO, that makes sense, right? But if you've been to 3 and 4 colleges that are not JUCOs, what is the likelihood of you having a successful professional career? What are the odds? Name me the guys that are making plays on Sundays that went to 3 and 4 schools. So I'm saying all that to say, if Shilo's best opportunity to be a part of a winning team, to be a part of a winning culture, and to still get that chance to play on Sundays, to play professional football, it's staying right there at Jackson State. It's staying right there at Jackson State. Because if we're being honest, Shilo, if he did anything, he hurt his NFL chances with some of the performances he put on this year. Now, you can say he was coming off an injury, which he was. But he missed a lot of tackles in some of those games. And he didn't look the best in coverage in some of those games at Jackson State. But we're not here to pile on Shilo. We're here to interpret his words and thank him for all the nice things that he said about JSU and all the nice things he said about the city of Jackson. But if I'm Shilo, if I don't take Colorado, which Colorado's there, if you don't take Colorado, just stay at Jackson State, man. Become like, here's the thing, because even in that interview was about 6 minutes. We played about 3 minutes of it. Shilo is going to be beloved in Jackson State for the rest of the time. For the things that he was able to do on the football field, the way he embraced the culture, and then the fact that he was tied in with the band, with the J5, all that stuff, walking around with a drum major mace, the drum majors, they're going to love Shilo and Jackson forever. The fact that he was kind of rebellious a little bit to Deion and the move to Colorado, the fact that he didn't take the trip to Colorado during the opening press conference, the fact that I came on here and told you guys there was something there, and then at the opening press conference, Deion says, yeah, Shilo's in the doghouse. All of those things played well in Jackson. They played really, really well in Jackson. They loved all of that because Shilo's one of them. And like, Shilo's one of us. And the fact that he will walk across the stage and shake the president's hand and be officially a JSU alumni with a degree, that's all going to play well for Jackson. That's all going to play well for JSU fans, supporters, alumni, etc. And that's why he will always be a fan favorite. And at the end, I actually do want to play this clip because he said it at the end. At the end, he spoke about, never turning his back on Jackson, never turning his back on JSU, never turning his back on his people. Let's take a listen to it. Let me go ahead and share it. I forgot about this. I almost left you guys without it. But let's take a listen to what Shilo had to say about Jackson.
This Jackson State era for you, man.
Man, Jackson, JSU is always going to be part of me, man. I'm not just going to leave and forget about everybody here. I'm not going to be acting Hollywood and all that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm still going to be, part of the culture, part of the movement. I'm still going to be supporting HBCUs at the end of the day.
All right. Well, good luck.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You got to love to hear it. You got to love to hear it because, we're just being honest about Shilo and Shedeur and all the Deion Sanders kids. But this is something that I've noticed in Shilo because you got to think about Shilo's upbringing. His dad was rich and famous by the time he was born, right? Deion Jr. and the older daughter, they kind of saw their dad come up through the ranks in the NFL, become a superstar and everything. By the time Shilo and Shedeur were born, Prime got drafted in 89. These kids were born in like 2000, right? Like 99 and stuff. Like he was, his NFL career, his superstardom was pretty much, like, as far as a professional football player, was pretty much over with, but he was established. He was rich. By the time they was born, he's rich. And so what I'm saying by saying that is they probably always lived a private school lifestyle, been around a whole lot of white people. Let's just be honest, been around a whole lot of white people, never really probably had a ton, but outside of sports and outside of, different things with other professional athletes, probably saw a whole lot. They went to Trinity Christian, which is like super private school, like it's a small private school in Texas. So they've always been around a whole lot of white people, right? Let's call it what it is. And they probably, their dad would hang out with rappers and stuff and all of that, but he always had a lot of white folks around him. And so you get to Jackson, it's nothing but black folks. You get to Jackson State, it's nothing but a black student body. And not only just that, they're embracing you. They're putting their arms around you. They love you. They're telling you you're one of them. You've been a part of the culture. Your dad is a sports culture icon, but this is different. This is different. This is the real, true, full black experience, right? This isn't Beverly Hills. This isn't the suburbs of Canton, Texas, outside of Dallas. This is the real deal. This is how real people live. And Shilo seemed to love it. He loved it. He embraced it. That's why he showed so much support for it after the game. Shedeur the same way. Shedeur was the same way in this post-game presser because he knew he was going to Colorado. His dad announced it at the press conference. He's been rocking Colorado gear. But that still doesn't take away the fact that they really, really got a true HBCU black culture experience. And Shilo, amongst all of them, seemed to really embrace it the most. And that's why this is tough for him. This is tough. He understands that it makes the most sense to go with his dad, his brother, and his family, his other brother to Colorado. But man, that don't mean he's not going to miss Jackson. And you can tell by the way he's talking. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Shilo Sanders will be a graduate of the Jackson State University. He said he will graduate in the spring, and he'll make his decision by then. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below what you think Shilo should do. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr YouTube and Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, JeffLightsYSports, also Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That's at JLightsy7. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.